Yankee fan who actually believes in the moves they made. Those dopes. 8 games back. Goody.
Nice change of subject.
Yankees. So happy they suck.
I cannot get over this.
I couldn't be happier. Go Red Sox.
For the new listeners, a year ago, Jimmy was probably the biggest Yankee fan. And now a lot of people in the New York area yelling and screaming like, are you crazy? I'm so much bigger a fan than he is.
I'm sure they are and they were. That's
Jimmy
fine.
was way up there. Mm-hmm. And now he hates them just because Derek Jeter blew him off at a function.
Beyond blew me off. He was extraordinarily unpleasant. Completely blew me off 3 times to sign a photo of he and I together. And I said, I will. I still acknowledge he's the best shortstop in the history of the franchise. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. The guy's a great player.
What do you do with your Derek Jeter signed baseball?
I have it displayed in my apartment.
Of course he does.
I'm not an idiot. If Hitler signed a baseball, I'd put it up. I mean, come on, dude.
It's a name.
Ty Cobb wasn't exactly a friendly fella, but I'd certainly display his stuff. I got a Derek Jeter thing and a Mariano Rivera ball.
But see, they went out of their way to make sure he signed baseballs for us.
No, that was very sweet of them
to
do. But I have my Jason Giambi, who was the Yankee I didn't like for a long time.
Yeah. Give him a bat.
I met a bunch of the Yankees at a function, and I did not like one of them. I think they were all rude. All of them were snotty. Robinson Cano was awful. And, boy, Giambi stopped and talked to every fan, and I liked him for that, and he signed a bat for me recently.
Yeah.
I guess I'm kind of on Jimmy's side because we went to this function. Now, granted, that XM paid for it. It was like $1,000 a plate or something.
No, $25,000 a table.
$25,000 a table.
There was like 6 or 8 of us at a table.
25 G's.
2, 4, it was probably 8 at a table tops.
Yep.
It was $25,000 a table.
Yes.
And I guess I'm with Jimmy. It wasn't like we, all of a sudden saw the Yankees having a team dinner somewhere before a big playoff game.
Right.
It was at a function where, you're paying $25,000 a table for a good cause, by the way. Jeter's charity, is a very good cause. And you would just think they would mingle with the people a little more. They actually had an invisible line. It wasn't an actual rope, but we all were in this huge banquet hall with all the tables. You've seen it, right?
Yeah.
But in the front of the room is where all the Yankees and their families and, like, the real celebrities were hanging out, by the way.
Uh-huh.
And if you try to approach those tables, and it looks like you could because you're in this big room.
Right.
All of a sudden there was just an invisible border, and security came out of nowhere to stop you from going any further.
So you're talking about any Ron and Fez party. That's pretty much the way they run their parties. We sit there. Yeah. There's an invisible line. Don't come near me.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, you know how you had to get Yankee pictures? You had to hang out with Roland by the men's room and catch them as they were coming into the toilet.
That's great. They love that. Anyone would love being approached by the bathrooms.
Well, there were very few people there. Very few people were waiting, lurking by the men's room.
Why are you giving out one of your? Why are you giving out one of your best tips of getting an autograph or a picture?
I've only done it that one time.
But no one.
He wants to meet people.
How many people have figured
going
that
into
out
the bathrooms?
Yeah, I mean, I was doing it.
Hey, fella.
I was doing it at the urinal. I would actually go. Do you mind if I just put my arm around you? Just looked over at my friends at the camera.
Take a picture.
See, people get confused because they think you're a celebrity. You don't have to go to the bathroom or anything. And Jimmy had figured this out a while ago. He's like, wait a minute. He's just like me. He's going to have a full bladder eventually.
Exactly.
So Jimmy just hangs out outside the men's room, and then these guys go without their security because they're like, "Nah, I'll be all right. I'm just going to the bathroom. I'll see you back at my table." All right, and then he got him one after another.
Yep. And I would I've met enough people to know when someone's being cordial, and the only one that had any that was really nice was Giambi, and it was the rest of them were just they were dicks.
Really?
I hated it. I couldn't believe it. All of them. Leyritz we had interviewed. We had Jim Leyritz on the show, who hit one of the most important Yankee home runs in history. And we were all hanging out. He was great. He was 2 hours with us. He did the walkover. We hung out. And he was fantastic. We had so much fun with Leyritz. And I saw him, this is maybe a week later, at that dinner, and said hello. Right. All I wanted was a hello from the guy. I didn't want a hug or, oh, my God, it's you.
I saw this happen, too, because let me just add a little to this. When he was on our show, we felt like we were going to exchange numbers. We all were bonding like you won't believe. And
pals.
Pals, sure. He gave us some unbelievable stuff that every sports columnist in America used, and ESPN. He was talking about steroids.
And his divorce.
And it was unbelievable stuff.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Jimmy. So we see him at this thing. And it was that night or a day later or something like that?
Or was it within a week, I believe.
It was within a week,
very close. And I see him, and I'm like, hey, man, how you doing? And he's like, hey. You're looking. That's the end. That's a period. That's not a semicolon. Like there was something after it. He blew me off. Like all of a sudden, it was his first day in AA, and I was the last fat chick that brought him to his bottom. I couldn't believe how horribly he blew me off.
And I think he didn't even know who we were.
I thought.
I believe he just had no clue that he just admitted to all this stuff on our show a mere couple days earlier.
That would have been acceptable. Because at least he doesn't remember you. Okay, I'm just some.
But how could he not remember us? Is what I'm saying.
Well, I said to him
because it wasn't like a typical interview.
It was such a blow off. I actually went like, I don't know if you remember. I would interview. He goes, "Oh no, yeah, I remember you. How you doing?"
Yeah.
It was the worst non-conversation I ever had.
Did you just skulk away?
I slugged away. I actually left a slug trail behind me. I was just a slug boy walking away with nothing.
Did you see it, Ope? Did you see that?
The Larets?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What was worse, that or my Leary blow-off?
Oh, the Leary, they were very similar.
Very similar?
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah,
the Leary blow-off at Comics Come Home up there in Boston.
God. One of the most embarrassing moments in my life. Dennis Leary.
Well, we're dopes. I mean, we do this very popular radio show, and we meet celebrities, and it goes very well on our show to the point you really feel like the guys remember you and know you and want to hang out with you. And Leary started doing our show, and by the way, this is old news. We love Leary, and I think we're at a different position with him.
Oh, yeah, I think talked to him about it.
He officially has acknowledged that we do exist past the radio show, but at this point, he did not.
We only did the show with him a couple of times, maybe, and it was the fact that he was on the show The Job with my buddy Adam Ferrara at the time. So Adam said, "Hey, I'll introduce you to Leary." In a little bit. And then he went off somewhere. I didn't see him. But then I see Leary at the bar, and there's an opening, and I'm going to get a drink. So I figured, you know something? Let me just say, hey, I'm good friends with Adam Ferrara. He's on your show, The Job. My name's Anthony, Opie and Anthony Show. Nice to meet you. Thinking we're going to have this big conversation. All you guys are watching me as I walk over there, and I use that line. I open up with the whole Adam Ferrara thing. He goes, "Yeah, how you doing?" And turns his back to me and just leans on the bar again. And I get my beer, and I'm drinking my beer, and I turn around and walk away. And I went to look back at all my buddies, Opie and everybody.
You didn't set this up well. You basically told everybody in our little circle, I'm going to go say hi to Dennis Leary. So all eyes were watching
me.
Anthony walk over to Dennis Leary.
Well, that's why they were all watching.
And then he had to saunter back toward us.
I came back, and as I looked at all my buddies, they quickly looked away. They didn't want to look at me. They were so embarrassed for me, they didn't even want to look at me.
Leary pretty much shook your hand without even looking at you. Like, yeah.
Yeah, how you doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, but I'm Adam's friend.
Yeah.
He's on your show.
Yeah.
They couldn't even, it was so humiliating, they couldn't even tease you for it.
No. They made like they didn't see it. It was embarrassing.
All right, we got to take a break. So Tracy Morgan is in trouble today.
But at least he's not 2 games under 500 with a $6 billion payroll, you dopes. You dopey
Well,
teams.
the Rocket is showing up at the minors for a little training.
I hope the Rocket throws his first pitch, and they say that's a really weird way for a ball to look. There's a hand and arm attached to it, and Steinbrenner still has to pay him. You suck. Jackasses. Hey, Gene Michael run the team.
Where's our Suzyn Waldman call? Give me that for after the break.
I love her.
And George Steinbrenner's blocks!
Screaming mad woman.
Roger Clemens is in George Steinbrenner's blocks!
This is amazing! I'm looking in the dugout. I see bats and gloves.
George Steinbrenner has brought Roger Clemens back! I think I got it in prison.
I think that's it.
He sounds like Daffy Duck's speedballing.
This is the most amazing thing I've ever seen!
Is it?
Really?
Oh, she's the worst.
More amazing than Lou Gehrig saying what he did that day. And George Steinbrenner's blocks! You got it? We're right next to me where?
Yeah, so why don't you stop humiliating
Oh, my God. It was right there, and you didn't just point it out immediately.
It's right next to you.
It's right next to you. I think he even said stupid.
Yeah. Why don't you just smack the back of his head and point at it?
That head shake is my favorite.
I know.
The old scowl and head shake of E-Rock.
It's also the most exercise he gets.
But we'll get into the E-Rock weight loss thing. But
Sam laughs.
I don't know. Obviously, the Red Sox and the Yankees, massive rivalry. But I think if you're a fan of sports in general, like for George Steinbrenner to bring Roger Clemens back in that way, like just a complete surprise to everybody, is a really cool sports moment.
Yeah.
You got to see past the fact that maybe you hate the Yankees, and there's Boston going, no, we don't, no, we don't. I know.
A big surprise, yeah.
But usually it's done at a boring press conference that ahead of time, and there he is with his Yankee cap on in front of the media. It's like, it's a snooze fest. But to all of a sudden be at a baseball game, and they kind of like point up to George Steinbrenner's box, and there's Roger Clemens hanging out, and no one had a clue. That's a cool moment.
Yeah.
And this coming from a Mets fan, by the way. I'm not a Yankees fan. All right, I do not like the Yankees whatsoever. Didn't like them way before the Derek Jeter incident with little Jimmy Norton. But with that said, Suzyn Waldman just blew the moment because now it's all about what she said instead of the actual
how she said it.
Right.
Jesus, she lost her mind.
Thank you all. Well, they came and got me out of Texas, and I can tell you it's a privilege to be back. I'll be talking to y'all soon.
And she's off.
Roger Clemens is in George's box, and Roger Clemens is coming back. Oh, my goodness gracious. Of all the dramatic things I've ever seen, Roger Clemens standing right in George Steinbrenner's box announcing he is back.
Is she from Boston? She has to be, right? Box.
Oh, yeah, she is from Boston.
Standing in George Steinbrenner's box.
George Steinbrenner's box.
Oh, my God.
She should have said, of all the dramatic things I've seen in my life, this doesn't crack the top 200.
Right.
It's a millionaire in a box talking awkwardly to people. I'll talk to you all soon. That was the worst hello I've ever heard.
Oh, my God. I can't believe it.
Is this wicked or what?
Wicked pisser.
And stupid Clemens, it's a privilege to be back, even though they offered me more money than Texas, but I left anyway. Stupid ass.
Oh, my God. And George goodness gracious. Right in George Steinbrenner's box, announcing he is back. Roger Clemens is a New York Yankee. And there we go, John. You don't have to worry about who's going to take that spot in the rotation. You should see what's going on in the Yankee dugout. Big grin on Jorge Posada's face. And
maybe a big grin on Jorge Posada's face because maybe, I don't know. Maybe he was seeing something else.
It's just, well, you got to play that part because she says all the excitement in the Yankee dugout. If you're driving, pull over. She's going to describe the excitement in the Yankee dugout, and I just want you all just to relax. It gets crazy.
What are you picturing?
Just the high five, the lunacy.
High-fiving, hats are flying into the stands. The fans are the people are in the dugout just going nuts.
A-Rod is taking off his athletic supporter, and he's holding it over Posada's face to revive him. It's lunacy / sexiness.
By the way, at the start of this break, see, we had no idea we were going down this road. See?
God.
This is the type of radio show we do. Freewheeling.
So what else?
By the way, how long would it take for him to revive him in that fashion?
Probably. Well, it depends. Maybe for a while, Posada would just fake not being revived. That's what I'd do.
Oh, damn.
Wait, can we hear the excitement?
Oh, yeah, please.
Folks, the excitement. This gets a little nutty.
The dugout.
Take that spot in the rotation. You should see what's going on in the Yankee dugout. Big grin on Jorge Posada's face. Andy Pettit knew. Big signs. Roger Clemens is now a Yankee. Attention, fans. He is here. And now we don't have to discuss who takes that place.
Incidentally, the big smile on Posada's face was all the excitement. She said Andy Pettit knew.
Yeah.
He knew.
So the dugout description of the dugout excitement was a grinning man.
There's two people. One grinning and one who knew.
So it's the same excitement you could see any Sunday morning while someone reads the funny papers. Someone's grinning.
She's talking about it like it's the Tet Offensive. There's two guys, one grinning, one is not surprised at all.
Oh, my God. The war is now unwinnable.
God, is she an ass?
How many guys in the
Really
Yankees?
is.
How many guys in the Yankee dugout going, so that's where my Rays went?
Yeah, the excitement.
Yeah, the excitement. I don't think
As they all call their agents.
They go, did you hear Roger Clemens is getting just under $1 million a start? get on the phone with John Steinbrenner.
Oh, my God, goodness gracious. You should see what's going on in the Yankee dugout. Oh, my God. Oh, Posada just took a sip of water. Shut your mouth.
All right, we got a break. We're a little late. We're a little late. Our phone number, 1-866-313-FREE. It's Opie and Anthony.